Okay, thanks for having me here today. First of all, I want to thank Coach Heather. She has helped us out a lot this year. We've had some talks. I need some counseling sessions every now and then. I wander by her office, and she has helped significantly in our women's team. So thank you, Coach Heather. Our men's team is much better than what they performed over the weekend. We did beat some Power Fives, but their training is much better than what's indicated, so we hope to improve that performance at the conference championship. The women ran great. They tied NC State, and the great quote after the race was one of the women said, "How the heck do you tie in cross country?" Well, we figured out a way to do it. So we closed really well, which they've done throughout the year and throughout the last decade. That's one of the things we pride ourselves on is the ability to close in races and then have heart and grit the last part of a race. And they do a great job because it's very easy to get buried in a big race and give up and quit. But they work together. They find their turquoise. We were led by Samri Deshawn, who ran fantastic, but our gap 1 to 5 was 12 seconds, which, to put that in perspective, our best gap in 2015, 1 to 5, when we won the national championship, was about 16.8 seconds. So if we just get a little further up, and it doesn't have to be significant, but just a little further up, we can run a little bit better. They are... It's such a fun group to be around. They support each other. They're also vocal about how they feel. We had one woman miss training today because she had a little runny nose, so we told her to sleep in. And the positive about that is she had the confidence to know that she wasn't feeling great. She didn't have to push through the training, and that we had the self-confidence in her and the belief in her that she was telling us how she truly felt and how she's doing, and now we can take a break and give her a couple of days of easy running and just make sure she feels well. That's the key with some of our best teams that we've had, is the ability for the men and women to express how they feel and tell us when they might need a little break. We go in, now we have a weekend off, and we'll go into our conference championship at Laramie, Wyoming, followed up by the NCAA Regional here on November 11th on the North Golf Course. They're in good spirits. Training is going exceptional. So it's up to us to manage health and wellness and well-being and try to get to the starting line healthy and happy.
How big is it for the program to get runner-up both in Wisconsin and Notre Dame, for yourselves and just for the grand scheme of where you guys are trying to go at the end of the season?
I think we gained a lot of confidence this week because we did close the gap on North Carolina State. They beat us by 13 at Notre Dame, which was over a 5,000 meter race. So you had another 3 minutes onto the race, and we ended up tying them. At Notre Dame, we closed 25 spots in the last 3 minutes. This meet, we closed 50 spots in the last 6 minutes. So our strength is very good. Going into our conference meet, the regionals in Oklahoma State, they tend to become more strength-based courses as opposed to speed, which is what the Notre Dame course was. But they just keep gaining confidence, and most importantly, they're having a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun. Today was kind of chaotic on the track. They wanted the music really loud, so I apologize to our women's soccer team that we cranked up the music really loud. So we had about 20 minutes of exceptionally loud music, and the poor people that live on Buena Vista have got to be a little challenged early in the morning with the music. But they're just gaining confidence every week, and they're having fun, and they're healthy, and they're just running exceptionally well.
Frank wanted to know how you train for a tiebreaker scenario in cross country. But my question was, given that NC State's runner, number one runner, finished first and yours finished eighth, what does that say about your depth?
Our depth is very, very good. And another fact that people don't know, we actually had a woman win the open race as well in the fastest time ever run in the open race at Wisconsin. So that would have been our number 9 runner. So Sarah Eckel ran exceptional. It's interesting because when you go through that, you think about this, you're running 20 minutes and you literally tie. So that's 5 people or 7 people running 20 minutes. The odds of that are just astronomical. We actually had one woman, Elise Thorner, tie a woman from Oregon. The time was the same, but they went to the photo and the Oregon person beat her by 100th of a second or whatever it was over the course of a 20-minute race. So that in itself, it's just rare. So what it shows is, regardless of how tired you are, if there's somebody next to you, you have to throw yourself across the line. You got to. And you speak to the depth, they also went second in the race as well. So they went 1-2 in the race, and we still tied them. So we have a shot, and there's a couple of teams that have a shot, like I've said before. NAU is running exceptionally well. Oklahoma State is very good. Alabama is very solid, and obviously North Carolina State is the class of the field right now.
2 questions, Joe. First, if that tie that went to photo had gone your way, did you win the race?
We would have won. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then second, and this is probably something you've been asked over the years, but why do you think historically your team is such a good closing team? Does the altitude training have something to do with it? Why do you think?
I think it's the way we train, but it's also the way we run. They have a lot of confidence, not only in the training, but also each other. So when you see the turquoise, if there's some photos out there where we're literally in a straight line all together. We're the only school that wears turquoise. We wear that when we wear it at Wisconsin, and the only other time we wear it is at national championships. So they take extreme pride in that and finding each other. And that's literally one of the things we talk about is just find your friends, find turquoise. And once you're with your friends, it's a lot easier to run because now you're running with Allison and I'm running with Allison. I want to run with Allison and compete with Allison and help her out.
That would not be your race.
But I would help you out.
Yeah.
So they just have historically taken a lot of pride in that. You know, we do approach this with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. It's just the way we're built and the way our personalities are. And it's the way my personality is. I'm hyper competitive, and they're hyper competitive on race day, not with each other though, which is the sign of great teams.